dream I know deep up my feelings for you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Reality Latest, this is your home of news and politics. Thank you so much for joining us. The headlines: the All Progressive Congress and the Edo State government clashed on Wednesday over fresh recruitment into the state civil service. Moving on after this, we have outgoing Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki said investment in the state creative, art and cultural sector over the last 8 years has transformed Edo State into a center of excellency, repositioned the state as African art, culture and tourism hub. Alright guys, before we proceed fully, I would like to welcome those that are joining us on today's news on Reality Latest Gist. For the first time, kindly proceed to subscribe and also share. Don't forget to turn the notification bell to get notified whenever we drop our video. To all amazing subscribers and viewers, thank you so much for joining. So guys, let's proceed. The All Progressive Congress and the Edo State government clashed on Wednesday over fresh recruitment in the state civil service. The APC Transition Committee member Kashim Afebwai, in his statement, he raised an alarm over the move, which was described as overburdening the incoming administration with huge recurrent expenditure. The government, however, responded that the incoming administration was making spurious claims that the state was overburdened by debt, and now they are threatening they will sack workers. My people don't be so wild. Following the victory of the APC candidate Mondo Boblo in September 21st, 2024 governorship election, Godwin Obaseki's tenure will end on November 11, 2024. So the incoming governor will assume office on November 12, 2024. Now, the transition committee on the government side and that of the APC had been having altercations over governance in Edo State. So in a recent altercation, the APC committee said it has come to their notice that Governor Godwin Obaseki is presently converting his senior special assistants and special assistants into full-time civil service staff. They say Governor Godwin Obaseki added 186 of such appointees in September this year to the already bloated numbers of 8 around him, and he has just commenced the process of absorbing another 152 aides to compound the problem. So the interview is presently ongoing as part of an effort to overburden the incoming administration, according to Afebwai, with huge recurrent expenditure. So the APC are saying that when Governor Godwin Obaseki knows, say they don't need their way, say the state is already bogged down by a huge debt burden. My boo. That means my girl. I say Governor Godwin Obaseki for 8 years refused to recruit civil servants to fill up vacant position and energize the civil service. So he also refused to set up the Civil Service Commission until 2 weeks in the Twilight Office administration. So they are alerting the public now to be aware of Governor Godwin Obaseki's deliberate act to stifle the resources of the Edo State and pass on huge salaries and overhead to the incoming administration. They said this is not only a wicked act by Governor Godwin Obaseki, but a huge disservice to the incoming administration of Senator Mondo Obolo. So in their response about what APC has been saying, the special advisor to Governor Godwin Obaseki on media project, Clàsh Osagi, knocked the APC for insinuating that the government was overburdening the state workforce by employing more workers in recent weeks. Clàsh said if APC no, say may they know now, say they do state government employment into the public service since the onset of the Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration has focused on serving the people. That a huge no goes to the All Progressive Congress, who had, through Kashim Afebwai, insinuated that the government was overburdening the government by employing more workers in recent weeks. So they're unfortunate seeing a disturbing trend from the APC even before they assume government position. They have started making spurious claims that the state is overburdened by debt and are now threatening that they will sack workers. People have been small bozo. So in a recent statement, Kashim Afebwai, a member of the Transition Committee, don't come out contracting the Edo State government led by Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration. Say, they are ready to cut down the numbers of workers engaged in Edo State because they need more money for themselves. So my people, that statement now Clàsh Osagi, they say, you see, say APC no mean well for Edo State. Say this thing where Afebwai talk, say the APC don't ready to cut down the numbers of workers engaged in Edo State. Clàsh Osagi said this is a sign of level of thinking in APC where all they care about is what they get into their pocket and not what is best for Edo State. Say that comment about the government employing workers are misguided, that the government started engaging new workers across various spectrum of governance over 6 years ago, since that fact can be confirmed by civil servants in Edo State. So right now, the Edo State government are saying that it is wrong for APC to start claiming that the last minute of Governor Godwin Obaseki's tenure, the government is now just only employing new workers to set trap for the new government. Say that's very wrong. Hey, but people are going to make a chook for this matter because this matter is strong. Make I know what I think about this matter in our comment section. Once again, thank you so much for staying to us. Moving on to the next one. Outgoing Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki said the investment in the state creative, art and culture sector over the last 8 years has transformed the state into a center of excellency, repositioned Edo State as African arts, culture and tourism hub. The governor stated this when he led the former governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, and former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, and other dignitaries and stakeholders to the officials unveiling and preview of the Museum of West African Arts Institute and Campus in Benin. Obaseki, addressing the diplomatic committee representative of National Museum and other stakeholders at the unveiling and preview of the campus, said that the project is part of the state cultural district and it holds immense employment and investment potential for the state, and that will be a key driver of tourism and economic growth. He said 8 years ago when he assumed office that they set up a plan which was very uncertain and difficult, as they laid down their plans on how to regenerate, restore and reform Edo State. They did what every other government would do. The first, they built road, rebuilt their institution, focused on economy, dealt with environment and built infrastructure. That is what every other government does. But they did one thing that fewer governments would do in defining their agenda for development. So that one be say, they brought culture and took art and culture as a priority for their resilience as a state. So if they look through West Africa, he said he don't think there are many places that can boast of their kind of heritage. That what is key and fundamental for them is how they were able, through the centuries, build institution. So that is the representation of who they are. But that knowledge has been lost because it was not written down. As a leader, their responsibilities is to envision, visualize and create that vision of what is to be. So they know that culture holds a significant place and help them to tell their stories better. So this project started about 6 years ago after a conversation and discussion with the Benin Dialogue Group on how to preserve what they have and also how to interpret to the rest of the world their culture. Governor Godwin Obaseki said 8 years ago he could not boast of assembling people like this, but 8 years after, the story has changed and people now want to come to Edo to come and see. Now, speaking on the criticism that trailed the project, Obaseki said he did not put down a hospital for a museum, but rather he built a museum and a better hospital. So he showed the head of the criticism that they brought down a hospital and built a museum, but in 2 days, they are going to commission one of the biggest hospitals in South Nigeria, in Benin City. So today they are commissioning a project related to the culture and creativities. They just finished unveiling the museum as one of the biggest advantage in the states. That is their culture and history. So their heritage is respected and celebrated around the world. As it stands now, Obaseki don't urge the people of Edo State, especially the youth, to play an active role in safeguarding the progress made in the state in the last 8 years. He urged them not to allow the state to go back to the dark days of underdevelopment and retrogression. He appreciated the governor for their impactful projects across various sectors of the state economy over the last 8 years. Ihedioha and Duke described Governor Godwin Obaseki as a transformer who prioritized the welfare and the well-being of his people. They say in terms of power, so Obaseki try. He said Duke generates more power than any other state. In terms of health, they appreciate Governor Godwin Obaseki for the quality of health delivery to the people of Edo State and how he created wealth for Edo State. He said the way that they see him, say Edo State is one of the most industrialized states in Nigeria by virtue of the investment Obaseki attracted as the governor of Edo State, that he made Edo State a tourist destination. So they want to join him and unveil the museum project, which is a classic one. They say me Obaseki no forget. Say he will be remembered in years to come about this thing will be saying do for Edo State. So guys, I would like make a note and think about this matter in our comment section. Let's keep the conversation lively in our comment section. Once again, thank you so much for staying to us.